Imagga is a platform that provides image recognition services as an API. Why use Image Recognition API? You need to build a new application with image recognition. No need to hire data scientists and build image recognition from scratch. Use an image recognition API to get off the ground faster and focus on building your business. Why use Imagga API? There are a lot of good image recognition API services out there. Amazon Rekognition, Google Vision and Clarify, to name a few. So, why use Imagga? Honestly, all of the API services above are very good. Imagga is among the top performing in independent studies. Let's start with image recognition using Imagga API. Let us get familiar with Imagga. Go to the home page of Imagga. Under Solutions, you can see the various services offered. We will use the tagging feature. The tagging feature enables automatic assignment of relevant tags or keywords to images and videos. Let us check out the demo. Use one of the demo images. See the tags generated for this image by Imagga. You can upload your own image to play with this feature. We will use the same tagging feature via API using Python. You need to download the code repository to your computer. The repository is hosted on Github. Make a note of the link. You can download the code repository as a zip file from GitHub. If you are familiar with GitHub, you can clone this as well. Before we dive into the code repository, let's do the required setup. You can follow the below instructions in the README file of the repository. You need Python and some packages to run this code. To check if your computer already has Python installed, try this command on the terminal Mac, or command prompt Windows. Mac comes pre-installed with Python. Windows users, though, will need to install Python. To install Python on your Windows machine, follow the instructions in the YouTube link. Go ahead, pause this video to get this done. The default Python installation may not have some of the packages needed to run this code. Install the required packages using the pip command on the terminal or command prompt, as shown. Pause the video and install the packages. To access the API, we need to get the Imagga API key and secret. Create an account on Imagga. Log into the account. This takes you to the dashboard. Take note of the API key and secret. This is like your username and password. Next, go to the Developers tab in the main menu. Under API Endpoints, you can see the sample Python code and JSON response for the tagging API. Note that you need the API key and secret to access the API. Great. Let's move to using the tagging API in our own Python code. The code repository needs a configuration file that stores the API key and secret. It is important to keep the API key and secret in a config file, separate from the main code. This ensures that as I pass the code to you via GitHub, I do not compromise my API key and secret. The config file is not in the GitHub repository. You need to create it. Create a new file called config.py in the repo. Add 2 lines to the file as shown. Put your API key and secret inside the quotes. Save the file. Now for the exciting part. Running the code. To run the code, go to the command prompt on Windows or terminal on Mac. Navigate to the directory with the tagging.py file. Ensure that the same directory also has the config.py file. Let us try and tag this image which is in the images folder. Run the code using the command shown. The code uploads the file to Imagga, tags it and then deletes the file from Imagga. The top tags provided by the Imagga API are shown on the screen. Exciting, isn't it? Let us understand the code a bit more to wrap this up. As always, let us start with the main function. The main function checks for the right syntax and extracts the image file name. It then calls the upload Imagga function with the image file name. The upload Imagga function calls the Imagga upload API and returns the file uploaded. Back to the main function. Next call is to the tag Imagga function. This calls the Imagga tagging API on the uploaded file. The tagging results are returned as a JSON object. The main function passes and displays the top tags. The last thing we do is delete the uploaded file from Imagga using the delete Imagga function. Hope this was fun and you learned something new.